Well, hello everybody. Doug Rucker here with DougRuckerSchool.com and DougRuckerStore.com, and we are located right here. We are your Houston, Texas pressure washing and soft washing supply store. We're located in the Kingwood, Texas area. For those of you that don't know, actually we're in Porter, but it's right next to Kingwood. But hey, what I want to do this morning is do a little Q&A time, some questions I've been getting asked via text message, email, and also on the YouTube channel right here. So just kind of thought I'd do that. So stand by for that coming up next. All right, so the first question that I'm going to answer is actually on YouTube. And a guy asked, his name is Ron, and he asked, good stuff, Doug, how much SH would the modified XJet be pulling downstreaming from a 5-gallon per minute pressure washer for house washes? Thanks for the helpful content that you give, or that you put up. Ron, my answer to that, and it's really a pretty standard question a lot of times for what kind of percentages does an XJet pull or downstream pull. There are ways that you can figure out the exact percentages. I've just never been one of those to do that. In fact, I've never done it. And the reason being is I don't need to know an exact percentage. What I need to know is the bleach mix that I'm spraying, is that strong enough to change the color of the organic staining on the surface that I'm cleaning. So if I'm cleaning a roof, do I need a 30, 40, 50% mix? How dirty is that roof? That's what indicates the percentage that I'm going to use, 30%, 40%, 50%. On vinyl siding and house washes and stone and things of that nature, it just really depends on how bad the staining is and what color those stains are. Green algae is always easier to remove than really, really bad black stain mildew. So when I see a lot of green, I know downstreaming is going to take care of that and change the color of that, so then I can rinse it off completely. When you get into really bad black stains, like on stucco or stone, brick, all of that, then I know most definitely I'm probably going to need to pull out my Kingslinger soft wash system to get a higher mix, or I'm going to use a pump up sprayer. It just depends on how much, where those stains are. Are they up high? Is it going to be easier to use the pump up sprayer, or is it going to be easier to pull out the Kingslinger? But the percentage that I'm using really actually comes from experience and just being able to look at a surface and say, okay, that's going to need a strong mix, or that's going to need a light mix, that's going to need downstream, or that's going to need the dedicated pump. And so again, depending on the location where those stains are, how much I'm going to be using the Kingslinger dedicated pump versus can I get by with just a pump up sprayer and hit a few spots and make it pretty quick. That's my determination. So most stains, and I've got a little chart that I use for my schools, my online schools, and I think I'll post that in the community section, that will help guide you on the percentages that you need to use on certain surfaces based on the stains. Now, that doesn't fully answer your question about how much SH are you pulling from that modified XJet. When I'm using an XJet, which is very, very rare, whether it's modified or not, I base whatever I'm putting in that bucket, if it's full strength, then I just kind of pretend that that's going to come out pretty close to full strength. I don't know the exact dilution ratio because of the water coming through the wand. I think it's like 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 that it automatically dilutes it, and that's not using any type of proportioner. I never use a proportioner in my XJet. So you start off with that and read the best thing you can do is read the XJet instructions on our website, and it will help guide you for that, to try to achieve the exact percentage or figure out the exact percentage that you're using. But again, It doesn't really matter to me what that exact percentage is. I just need to know, is it strong enough to change the color of that organic stain? Because that's all the bleach is doing in your mix. It's changing the color of those organic stains, that mildew or that algae, and it's killing what it can touch. So it's not actually killing the roots, because it can't get into where the roots are, especially on poor surfaces. Bleach has no crawling or penetrating effect. It's just whatever it hits, that's what it touches. That's whatever it touches, that's what it kills. But the main thing that we're doing when we're cleaning is we're changing that color of that algae so that we can then rinse it off, because the soap that we're using is help pulling it off the surface a little bit to make it easier to rinse under low pressure. So I hope that answers your question or helps you a little bit. I know it's not exact science, probably what you were looking for, but again, I've just never got into that part. Okay, so let's look. Here's another one from Jamie. Thank you for the information that you provide. My question is, if I'm washing a shingle roof or a vinyl siding house, will my chemical mixture bucket be only SH and surfactants? I just bought a downstream for my 4-gallon per minute machine and will be mixing and pulling from a 5-gallon bucket. Great question, Jamie. So again, when you're downstreaming a house, let's say you're downstreaming, well, you said vinyl siding house. So if you've got a lot of green only on that house, with a 4-gallon per minute machine, you can dilute your mix up to 50-50 if you need to, because it's just not going to need to be full strength, depending on if you're using, if you're using 5.6%, which is store-bought Clorox bleach, I wouldn't dilute at all. If you're using 10 to 12% sodium hypochlorite, which is the commercial grade most of us use, then if you've got those green stains and you've got a vinyl sided house, then yeah, you may want to dilute that a little bit. If you've got more of the black and more of the dark colored algae stains, then you may not want to dilute it. A lot of that goes into just testing. And again, a lot of that goes into experience. But if I were you, if you're just starting off, I would always start off with a 4-gallon per minute machine. I'd probably start off with about a 50% mix, maybe a 40% mix, and then try that. See how long it takes for the organic stain to change color, and then go from there. And as you get more experience, you'll be able to start identifying surface stains, and then that determines your application method. That's what I always teach here. Identify your surface, identify your stains, determines your application method. Okay, so and the application method could be downstreaming, it could be XJetting, it could be a dedicated pump up sprayer, whatever. Downstreaming, another part of your question, downstreaming is not strong enough to clean a roof, so you need a dedicated pump, like the Kingslinger or 12 volt. We've got some 12 volt series coming out here pretty soon, 12 volt pumps, or a gas roof pump, or water booster. Those are all dedicated pumps. And so a dedicated pump is basically a pump up sprayer on steroids. It's just allowing you to spray the same type, same strength of mixes you can in a pump up sprayer, but you're not having to continually fill that little container up and pump it up and spray, and then when it exhausts you have to go back. So a dedicated pump soft wash system is basically a pump up sprayer on steroids, but you don't have to keep pumping it up. You've got a larger tank, you've got a longer hose, you can reach everything and spray your mixes, especially if you've got the blend manifolds like we sell, versus just trying to batch mix. So my advice to you would be, on your vinyl siding houses, I would just look at it and determine, do you have a bunch of green stains? That's going to take a little bit lighter mix. If you've got a bunch of black mildew, then you might go a little bit stronger. And always make sure you're doing your proper plant protection, property protection, and all of that. Okay, hope that helps you. Hit me up on YouTube. I just answered your question this morning, but wanted to give you a little bit more detailed information. So thank you for that question, Jamie, and see if we have time for one more. I got to check over at the other office real quick, see how they're doing, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I got time for one more. And the last one is not really a question, it's more of a comment. Furman Aguilar said, "Sir, you saved my wallet a few bucks. My surface cleaner wasn't working properly after I removed the tips for service. When I put them back, I used an impact and just tightened without putting attention to how they were lined up, causing uneven spraying line pattern. Almost ran to buy a new one. What an easy fix." So there's a YouTube video I have called Surface Cleaner Tips and Maintenance. We'll put it up in the card up there so you can click on it. And I'll see if we can make it the end screen too, because that's a very important one. As a matter of fact, the end screen one we'll make, there's another video, I think it's called Pressure Cleaning School Surface Cleaner Tips from Doug Rucker. So 2 different videos that we'll put so you can access those. So great videos to watch if you've just gotten a brand new surface cleaner or have had a surface cleaner for a while. Check those out. And I'm glad that helped you, Furman. Thank you for commenting and letting me know that. It's always good to hear when things help people out. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll know when I come out with a video. And then leave me a question or a comment down below. Appreciate everybody and hope you all are having an awesome, awesome week. You can check out my online video school at pressurecleaningschool.com, and then of course our regular training events every month at the same website. Just click on events. Okay, thank y'all. Have an awesome day. Got to get busy.